Cabin crew to your takeoff stations.
Ladies and gentlemen, please ensure that your seatbelts are fully fastened and your window shades are drawn up. Thank you.
We went to Australia this year. We stayed in a town called Campbelltown. Our host family enjoyed it so much.
My first host family is Filipinos. They were an old couple. They always cook me Asian food. Once my roommate and I cooked them a Chinese meal. We enjoyed it so much. We had hot pot, spaghetti and roasted chicken in their house. I love Australian ice cream too. It is so creamy. And my second host family is Australian. There were 4 family members in their house. I had lots of fun with their daughters and son. How about you, Kelly?
My host family were living in a farm. It was so big. I cooked a Chinese meal too. And I had a good time staying with them. How about you, Eric?
My host family called Joanne. She has 92 family members. I have an unforgettable experience staying with my host family. In these 3 weeks, I learned how to cook, learned to be scared, learned to speak English all the time. She kept a dog called Jack and 2 cats. They are very nice and friendly. I love my host family. Thank you.
Here's my host mom. Her name is Joanne. My name is Eric. Now I'm going to interview Joanne. Joanne, how long have you become a host family?
Off and on for the last 10 years.
Why do you want to be a host family?
I like to learn new cultures and give children a chance to come to another country and enjoy their stay.
What do you think of Hong Kong students doing better?
Some students are very funny and other students are very, not strict but very straight. So I think both are good, but some make me laugh more than others.
What do you think about me?
I think you're a dinosaur. You eat lots of food and you have a very good sense of humour.
Thank you. What do you like? Australia, do you think it's good or bad? Something good?
Well, I think Australia has a lot of country, so there's a lot of room to move around, and there's many cultures in Australia, and we seem to all get along. So it's a very relaxed place. So I think that's why people like it.
That's all my question.
Oh, thank you very much. Yes, how do you like it in Australia? Do you find it very different?
Yes, quite different from Hong Kong. I think Australia's air is quite fresh, the environment is very good. It's a big difference from Hong Kong. Hong Kong's air was quite dirty and not clean. In Australia beach, the sand is very fine, but not in Hong Kong.
And what's it like sharing a host family stay with lots of other students from other schools?
I think it's quite good, quite different experience because just we don't know each other. We can have a good communicate or speak English to learn more, study more, and speak more.
And how do you like learning to cook in Australia? Because you've cooked many meals.
Quite different because when I was cooking, I ate too much soy sauce. Also, the barbecue of Australia is almost sausages. It's quite different from Hong Kong, and cook many different dishes in Australia too. Some not tried before in Hong Kong.
So you go home and cook it for your family?
Yes, I will.
Well, I'm glad you had a good stay in Australia. It was lovely having you here, and you can come anytime.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, it's all my interview. Thank you.
We took a train to the central of Sydney. We went to Circular Quay to visit Opera House and Harbour Bridge.
Look at this. There was an advertisement on the sky. So funny.
We went to Elizabeth Macarthur High School to watch a performance. There was a band performing their original songs called Superman.
We went to Featherdale Wildlife Park. We saw a group of baby kangaroos jumping around. We went to the learning burrow and saw koala. As we touched its fur, it was so soft and smooth. We grabbed some glass to feed them. They were so cute.
There were some glass mud horses too. They lick our hands when we feed them. We held a rabbit and a baby lamb. The baby lamb was so cute, like a doll.
The day when we went to Blue Mountain is the coldest day in our trip. It dropped to about 4 degrees Celsius only. Blue Mountain is really blue in color, and there was a story of 3 sisters behind the mountain. There was a candy store nearby. I bought a lot of lollies. This is Erwin Ramil Gulun Alcover, but actually we call him Erwin. He is a gay though. No, just kidding. He is a good teacher and also he is our good friend.
There, guys. Okay. Okay, alright.
Why did you decide to work for EF?
Yeah, so honestly, I really didn't decide to work for EF. Rather, I was persuaded by my boss. I've been working for EF during the holiday seasons for about 3 years now. And each time I've worked for him, my boss and the foreign teachers and especially the students really liked my work. So for this season, my boss really wanted me back, and I said no at first, but my boss is very persuasive, so I said yes at the end. The other thing was that I really wanted to improve my teaching skills, and you know, I had taught adults for about 2 years before I worked with EF. And I really wanted to expand my experiences, and teaching high school age students is obviously a lot different from teaching adults, so I saw working with EF as an opportunity to get me new experiences, I suppose. So that's why I decided to work for EF.
How did you feel while you were teaching us?
Alright, well, honestly guys, it was very difficult in the beginning because there wasn't much organization from the top end of the business, but that's the way EF has been in Sydney for so long. I mean, they've been like that for so long. So I had to organize activities on demand, which isn't always easy. Like for example, when it rained on our first sports day, we had to think of an activity that we could do then and there without any support from any of the higher the people in the higher positions of the business. So that was very difficult. However, the students, now I received pressure from my boss and my and the leaders, and that's completely understandable. I don't blame them at all for giving me pressure. They only wanted the best for the students. The students didn't give me pressure at all. The students were really wonderful, and they were each special in their own different way. And it was wonderful to try and get to know all the different personalities. That was a really, really wonderful experience. And I think by the end of the first week, I really liked leading and teaching so much that I really didn't want to go back to my regular job, which is actually where I am now. It's a teacher's office in Sydney in a language school. So I really did make a lot of good friends. It was a really good experience. I miss all of my friends a lot, especially you, Kelly.
How do you feel about Australia?
Okay, so obviously, guys, this is a pretty broad question. I can talk for a long time about Australia. But what I'll try to do is I'll try to stick to the main theme of the question, which is how I feel about Australia. So first of all, the standard of living in Australia is very, very high. I think the best thing about Australia is its multiculturalism. Now, honestly, I haven't been to many places around the world. I've never been to Europe, and I've never been to America, but couldn't imagine any other place that would be more accepting of multiculturalism as Australia. Here in Australia, we can see people from different backgrounds and different nationalities, and that have different beliefs, but that live together quite peacefully. So I think that's the best part about Australia, and that's why I feel very positive about Australia.
Why did you choose to teach us Waltzing Matilda?
I think Waltzing Matilda is a part of Australia as much as Kangaroos, Koalas, the Opera House, and Ayers Rock, and I think it's something that every visitor should take with them to get the true Australian experience. And this is because the song is uniquely Australian. I mean, Australian slang. It's sung in the Australian accent. It even has a little bit of Australian history in it. Okay, Waltzing Matilda actually tells you the story of Australia's history, and I wanted to teach it to the Hong Kong group in particular because in some respects Australian history is very similar to Hong Kong history. We were both under British rule, and it was a real struggle. Not many Australians liked being under British rule, and I don't think many Cantonese liked being under British rule. Okay, so I think this is something that Australians and Cantonese have in common, and I think the Cantonese people can really relate to this piece of history right here in Waltzing Matilda.
When would Australians sing Waltzing Matilda?
So Waltzing Matilda is a nationally recognized song, and I think Australians sing it to show their Australian identity. We usually sing it when we have political meetings, international political meetings, have national sporting events and international sporting events as well. And we also sing it actually in schools. A lot of schools have Waltzing Matilda as part of their curriculum. And I think because Australia is a multicultural country, what we need to do is to promote a sense of common identity. And I think that Waltzing Matilda does this for us. They feel Australian automatically. And that's also one of the reasons why I taught Waltzing Matilda, because it's got that Australian feeling to it.
Sarah is one of our teachers. Besides, she taught us how to play cricket. I think she is the most energetic and outgoing teacher I've ever met.
Let's do an audio interview with Sarah. Why did you want to work for EF?
EF has enabled me to gain experience in teaching English as a second language to students with a variety of English levels. It's also allowed me to put my passion into practice.
How do you feel about Australia?
I feel that Australia is a beautiful country. Living here opens so many doors to a variety of opportunities.
How did you feel during the 21 days with us?
Well, although my time with your group was cut short, I enjoyed every moment I spent with you. You all wanted to learn something new and it showed through your enthusiasm, so it was a pleasure to teach your group.
What do you think about active learning?
Active learning, in my opinion, is a great way to learn a new language and culture. It engages the whole person in the environment and enables them to practice what they learn in theory. However, in saying that, not everyone learns the same way, and active learning may not appeal to everyone.
What are the advantages of studying in Australia?
One of the biggest advantages of studying in Australia is the endless opportunities you'll have. There are many academic paths you can take, and everything you study in a formal institution is recognized internationally. I hope my answers have helped you in some ways, and I really do hope to see you again very, very soon.
This is a part of our group presentation.
Do the Harlem Shake.